Nation, this is a real treat. It has been far too long. We're back with Josh Weiss of LA Creative, and I'm not going to get the rest name right. How you doing?
I'm great, Harry, and I'm actually no longer of LA Creative, though I used to be.
Oh, well, let's talk about that. In fact, I didn't know we also did the name change. So you went through an acquisition. So that is news. Talk
I
what's
sure
going
did.
on?
Well, I sure did. We're about 2 months into the acquisition. So LA Creative Technologies was acquired by Logic Technology Consulting Group out of Torrance, California, just down the road from me. And it's been a wild ride going through the acquisition. So I guess it's something that I started thinking about 4 months ago now, or 5 months ago now, and I'm now 2 months into the acquisition.
Well, that's a quick acquisition as far as acquisitions go. That's actually on a fast
track. Yeah, it was really, really fast for me. It was really, really exciting. I had kind of decided that I wanted to do this, just that, after about 15 years doing my own business, I was sort of ready for the next adventure and the next challenge in my life. And right around the week that I decided that I wanted to do this, I had dinner with a longtime colleague who I know back from when I used to work with ConnectWise and Continuum a lot. Had dinner with a longtime colleague, and though I ended up speaking to 10 or 15 other people, I sort of knew pretty fast that he was going to be the one I was going to work with.
Yeah.
And I think it's amazing. Certain people that I speak to, they do a very, very long road. They get a broker. They do a lot of other stuff.
Exactly.
But I think due to the nimble nature and size of my MSP, which was just over the $1 million run rate.
Oh, well, that's still great. You got over the $1 million hurdle. Congratulations.
I did get over the hurdle. But I think sort of due to the size, but mostly due, I think, to the trust that was in place between myself and my colleague, Johan. We were able to knock it out faster than a lot of these deals that I hear about. And I mean, I think something that some friends of mine that have worked on a lot of these deals told me that sort of came up throughout this process was just that there was an easiness factor to this process, which a lot of other deals don't have, and which helped it move fast, sort of ease and trust.
Yeah, exactly. So with the integration, what are your solutions? What are your product stacks, right? Are you still doing digital transformation? You still doing RMM? So what's a day in the life look like for you and your team?
Well, I mean, so I'll say the following. So one thing, I brought my whole team over in this acquisition. And though my VA has eventually left, even she came originally, everyone else came. So that's been really exciting. And I think to answer your question, really the first thing to say is that we chose to do the integration not only for the ease and the trust factor, but because we work in the same verticals, which is primarily nonprofit with a strong focus on architecture and engineering. So about 70% of our clients are nonprofits and labor unions. And almost the entire remaining 30 are architecture and engineering with a little bit of professional services thrown in at the end of that. So our solutions is really, though I can't say I'm focusing on the term digital transformation as much as I was 2 years ago when I was doing a lot with you, Harry.
Yep.
We are focused on these verticals. And, what does that look like? Sure, that looks like RMM, and that looks like backup, and that looks like sort of the basics. But a lot of what we're focusing on really is the sort of helping these two verticals that we know so well get their work done better and faster and more securely, with a huge focus on security awareness training, security awareness products, and really keeping the employees well trained across the board. And beyond that, putting the right security solutions in place. And we're focusing really heavily on automation right now as well. Automation of deployments, automation of updates, automation of a lot of the pieces, because we've got, especially working with labor unions, people are coming, people are going like crazy. The amount of onboards and offboards that we're seeing every week is sort of making everyone, I don't know, it's making our hair stand on end, shall I say? It's a lot. But so that's really, having us focus a lot on automation.
Well, what I like, and you know me pretty well, is I love people who have niches. My whole career has been in tight little niches. Even though there's a lot of small businesses in the world, and small business server probably grew out of a niche and maybe a little category, but at my heart of hearts, I like niches.
Yeah.
And they're good and bad, because the world changes and all of a sudden the niche isn't there. For example, the product went away. So, you're kind of dealing more with verticals. I don't know if we'd call it so much a niche, but you're dealing with verticals, and they're going to be here tomorrow. When you say there was turnover at the labor union, now that's not the ladies and gentlemen's pounding nails out on a construction site. This is the team that is, for lack of a better word, the professional team back in the office.
This is literally, yes, not the members of the union, but the employees of the labor union itself, right? So the ones who are sort of running the administration to keep that union alive, completely separate from the members who are, and mostly we support public sector unions for the most part.
Yeah.
And so that's nothing to do with the membership, but we have some of the largest labor unions in the country are our clients.
Yeah. No, nice. Real nice niche. How big is the combined organization? Are you 30, 40, 60 people?
20. We are 21 people currently.
Yeah.
So we brought over 4 from my side. We had about 10 in place, and we've already hired 4 more in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
We're supporting, I think, somewhere in the vicinity of about 1,500 endpoints now. Growing like crazy. And I mean, I think something to say, this could maybe be a spiritual comment, or I'm not quite sure how to phrase this one, but the amount of people who are signing up to work with us, we've put like a 90-day delay in place at this point, because there's so much business coming in, so much growth, so many referrals. It's really wild. And so, I went from running a 4-person company, or five people, including me, to now being the director of operations for what is like a 21, 22-person company. And it's sort of, it's a really wild ride. And for anyone listening right now, I think some of the interesting stuff that's sort of come my way as I've worked through this is, integrations are hard. Integrating to MSPs is hard for anyone who's thinking about it.
Yeah.
But it's also really rewarding. I mean, it really gives us a chance to reevaluate, reconsider how my company was doing things, how the new company is doing things, sort of kind of just shine a light on both sides of that. We're looking into right now, how do we do onboarding and offboarding? What does the security stack look like? What's the tool stack look like? And just really, taking a very humble approach to the whole thing, right? We do it this way, you do it this way. Either one could be right, or more probably some combination of the two is how we're going to do it going forward.
Oh yeah. No, it's always been that way. It's Teams versus Slack and Zoom, right? It's always been that way, and fine.
And that one is actually really active right now. We're looking at using some new tools, and what I'm noticing with a lot of the communication tools in the MSP industry is they say no one uses Slack. We only support Teams. And so you see that with chat support tools, you see that with business intelligence, sort of, there's MSP bots is one of the ones that we're looking into right now, which is a sort of interesting, it's a BI platform with a lot of actions that can be taken based on that BI. And so we may actually end up switching, and no one on the team really wants to.
Yeah, that hasn't changed. A couple final questions. And the first one, I can appreciate if you're not in a position to comment, but do you see your new company, your new group, making further acquisitions? Is that on your roadmap to grow strategically?
Probably.
Okay.
I think we need to get through what we're getting through right now, but I would give that a nice chance of happening
Okay.
at some point here.
And
I think
then,
that, I think we need 6 months to a year to get through this
oh yeah,
particular
no,
piece.
take your time. Yeah, take your time, and who knows what it'll look like a year from now. The price of other entities may actually go down. Who knows with the economy, but you and I don't know if it's how we met, but we certainly enjoyed each other's company at a number of events over the years. What was it? The one up in Pittsburgh.
Continuum in Pittsburgh. I got a picture with you in a park somewhere in Pittsburgh, I think.
Yep, exactly. And so with DattoCon coming up next week in Washington, D.C., folks, we're having this chat right after Labor Day. Will you be at DattoCon, sort of the successor to all that? You'll be there.
Yeah, because we're dumping the whole Continuum Connect Weiss stack, and we're an all Datto company.
Okay.
So yeah, I will be at DattoCon. I probably would have been in Orlando if the dates were aligned with the MSP Summit, but I'll be at Datto instead.
Yep.
I think that's it for the year, though.
Yeah. I used to only see at one or two shows because, the shows are back. I mean, we have Enable Empower the first full week of October in Vegas. I'll be there. And then early November, you have Enable, AKA SolarWinds, will be down in Miami again. So it's back, and it's good. It's good. I know we all enjoy seeing each other, and
it's coming. They're coming. And I spoke in Vegas a couple months ago at the MSP Summit as well. But yeah, things are moving along.
Is that lawyer MSP Summit?
No, I forget the name. It's associated with Channel Futures.
Oh, Channel. Okay.
Channel Partners, Channel Futures, Informa.
Yeah.
Correct. It is an Informa conference.
Yeah. Okay.
And I mean, there is something that I want to say kind of on the topic of acquisition that I've been speaking about a lot.
Yeah. Go for it, man.
Just as as a closing, is that there's something I went through this whole process as I decided that it was time for a change in my life, where at first it was like, well, the company needs to be bigger. I need to do it longer. I need to hit some certain point or some magical number before I can make this change. And there's really that moment of, it's fine. Like, life is short. It's time to make a change. And sort of coming to that realization in the way that I did, it all seemed like the universe aligned everything for me to find someone that I had a very good sort of shared set of values with, and to have a pretty easy deal come out of it. And I think for anyone listening, you may think like, oh, I'm too small, or I'm not ready, or I have to do this, or I have to do that, or XYZ needs to align before I start doing this. And I would encourage anyone who is at a point of wanting a change in their life to, be very flexible and reconsider your own metrics for success. Because there's a million options in the world. There's a million things you can do. And for me personally, I like doing operations work. And I'm going to do that for 2 years with this current company. And, maybe I stay longer, but that's the original commitment I made. And I'm able to really apply my own creativity in ways that I couldn't when I was sort of running around dealing with the challenges I was dealing with. And I just, I'm really trying to encourage people to see that you don't have to have a $10 million MSP before you make a change or do a merger or whatever it is. And
well, not only that, I get to some of the same places in a different way. And I haven't made a big secret of it. When they took away SBS completely in 2014, I went and did the analytics startup for a couple of years. So those were all basically side hustles, right? Because I needed change. And Josh, I really like the variety, right? I've done 3 or 4 things in the last 8 years. I'm off to do another startup, and just exited a data center in Austin, Texas. It was kind of an unusual fit for me to be helping them out part-time. But Josh, I learned something from every gig. I mean, I really enjoy the variety, man.
Exactly. Exactly. It's fun. And, I'm in the same boat. I'm helping my partner start a business up right now. And, it's like life is too short to stick for one thing for longer than you want to.
Yeah. Yeah. That's called working at the library. No. Love library. Hey man, I got a ball. Hey, congratulations. Let's
Great
talk
to see
after
you.
the first of the year. I know we don't completely run in the same circles as much, but when Jenny edits this, we'll check in with you after the first of the year, see how
Let's
the
do it.
integration is going.
Great to see you.
All right.